Hi, my name's Ian. I want to welcome you to another 5-minute family devotion here at Engadine Heathcote Anglican Church. At 5-minute family devotions, we're going through God's big story, and we're looking at the story of the Bible and how God is working on each and every page of the Bible to bring relationship with Him once more. Well, we've been filling in the gaps as we've been going through God's big story. What have we learnt so far? Well, Abraham's family, Israel, were finally a big nation and they were in the land that God had promised them. Things were good, but we learnt yesterday that God's people kept on forgetting Him. They followed after pretend gods and that made God angry. So there was this cycle that went over and over and over. The people forgot about God. Then God sent another nation to come into the land. Then the people realized their mistake and cried out to God to forgive them. And God sent them a judge to win a battle, just like Gideon that we heard about yesterday. And then there was a time of peace. Well, years passed and God's people were enjoying peace as there was a man named Samuel who was judging Israel. He was a good guy. He trusted God and things were good for God's people who were following God at the time. But things didn't stay that way. And to help us find out what happened next, we have a special guest who's here today. He's an expert in almost everything. His name is Dr. Know-It-All. Dr. Know-It-All, welcome.
Yeah, Ian, thank you for me being here. Yeah, it's very good. It's very good. I'm glad I'm here. It's good for you that I'm here. Yes.
Yes, thank you, Doctor. Well, what happened next for God's people?
Excellent question, Ian. Excellent question. Well, Samuel, he was honest and fair. He was a good guy, but yet when he was old, the people began to grumble. Samuel's sons, they weren't like him. No. They weren't honest. They were bad. And so the people said, "Hey, Samuel, we want you to give us a king. We want you to have a king so that he will be in charge, just like the other nations." Yeah.
Wow. I'm sure Samuel didn't feel good about that at all. Does that mean the people didn't want him as their leader anymore?
Yeah. Yes, Ian. It's crazy. Things were so good for them. There was peace and there was calm. God ruled these people well. Ay. Samuel, he was disappointed. And so God told Samuel, "Hey, they're not rejecting you as king. No. Samuel, they are rejecting me as king. They are rejecting me as their king and ruler. Hey, they don't want to be like, they do want to be like all the other nations around them. But first, you need to do a job. You need to warn them about the king that they will ask for. Yeah. He will make you to be soldiers for his army. He will make you to work on his farms. He will make you to cook his food. Yeah, you will have to give him your grapes and your corn. You will have to be his servants. You will be like all the other nations. Yeah.
Okay, well surely the people saw sense, didn't they? They didn't want a king after that, right?
No, Ian, no. Ay. They yelled out, yes. We want the king. And in the end, God said to Samuel, give the people what they want. It's very, very sad. And so the people got a king just like the other nations. They got a king who made them his servants, who made them his cooks, his soldiers, and his farmers. Oh, they got a king who didn't trust God, and his name was Saul. Oh, ay. They should have kept God as their king. Ay. Silly.
Wow.
That was a big mistake.
That's not good, Dr. Know-It-All. Not good at all. Sounds like they made a really big mistake. They should have followed God as their king. Or wanted a king after God's heart. Well, thank you for coming in, Dr. Know-It-All. It's been great to have you here.
My pleasure, Ian. Your pleasure for me being here. Okay, auf Wiedersehen, everyone. Bye.
Well, there you go. What a big mistake. God's people should have been different from everyone else. They should have had God as their king, but they asked for a king that was nowhere near as good as God. Boys and girls, to put our trust in anyone other than King Jesus means we've rejected God as King, because Jesus is God who came to die for us because he loved us so much. Why don't you make sure that Jesus is your King and put your trust in him always, because he really is the best King that we could ever have. Well, in a couple of seconds, a couple of questions are going to come up on the board. And as a family, I want to invite you to read, to think, and to pray. And pause the video as you do each one together as a family. Remember, also keep on sending your photos in and we'll say good day to you in the coming videos.